Alright, we're gonna do, I'm gonna do something a little different on this one. Try change things up. Um, this one here is gonna be, is a Philco 42350. It's from 1942. It's a 3-band radio. That one band is an old FM band. It's not used anymore. Uh, but we eke out at least a couple of stations on that band. We try to do the same with this one. Um, I forget how long I've had this one. It's one of the ones I covered in an earlier video for up and coming. And I'm just now gonna figured now or never on this one. It's got quite a few issues with it. A little bit of cracking up here and some separation here on the corners that we're going to try and get corrected. There is no knobs to this one. The buttons seem to be all in pretty good shape. And the cabinet is structurally sound. The chassis is in fair shape. Still yet to be checked out. The antenna is okay. It'll get refurbished just like the other ones. The FM loop is going to be redone. The tuner is a little yicky, if there's a term for that. So we're gonna put this one on the bench next and get started on it. So stay tuned. All right, got the chassis out of the cabinet. Got the speaker removed, speaker panel, grill cloth. And it's real cruddy in there, but not as bad as I've seen some. The chassis is in pretty good shape, except for the tuner. I think that'll clean up pretty easy. It doesn't look like rust, but there's definitely no real rust on any of the components, or at least any that can't be revitalized. The speaker looks like it's in pretty good shape. Still need to check it out. It's pretty cruddy too. This one here had a good home for the good portion of its existence, but it was getting to it. So let's take a look underneath the chassis here. And we've been visited by aliens. We've got a pair up here and a pair right here. I believe this one here only uses 3. I think this one here uses 3 E-caps. That one there, I think, looks like it comprises 1 because they're in pair. This one here is the other 2. So, but it doesn't look like anything else is done in here. So, it wasn't done by bugs or anything else like that. But it looks pretty good, I mean, all in all. So this one here should be a winner. And we'll get it up on the bench and take a closer look at it. Stay tuned. Okay, so far we got this thing up on the bench. We removed those originally replaced capacitors with new electrolytics capacitors. and went in and took care of some of the other caps that needed to get replaced at the same time. This is the audio coupling capacitor. I decided to change that out because I hear a lot of people saying that's got to be replaced before powering it up. I powered it up originally with the old caps in here, try to see if I could get any heartbeat. I didn't. So after poking around in it for a little bit, I couldn't even get a peep out of it. So I turned it up and went to replacing these here, and replaced the block caps also. And we're going to take and flip it over and give it a check out here and see if there's a heartbeat. If so, we're just going to go ahead and wholesale the rest of these out. So stand by. Alright, got her turned up. I clipped the old power cord off here because it was all brittled and everything, and stuck a cord on it for right now. It will get the usual polarized power cord on the thing. The antenna is patch corded in. The speaker is in good shape and is plugged in, ready to go. I've got this thing already set to an on position. It's on a dumb bulb, and we're plugged into an isolation transformer. So we'll power it up. I've got it on a 100-watt bulb to start. Kick her on. We got a bulb. We got lights. These lights will get replaced also. They're originals. Now let's see. The tone, volume. Got the volume up. We're in broadcast, and let's see what we will get.
I've heard it since Washington let go of salad. So I thank you for keeping me on my toes and snapping me to it.
Okay, we got heartbeat. So now it'll be a matter of just going through and wholesaling out all the other caps and double checking all resistors and making sure that we leave sleeping dogs lie, because this is one of them units that they use that rubber insulated wire, and so don't want to wake up any of those bulldogs. So, but any bad wiring that we encounter in the process of removing and replacing some of the other stuff, we'll replace it. Because I'm fully stocked. So, stand by, more to come. Alrighty then. Here we are with the rest of the capping done. All the resistors were in good order. There wasn't too much disturbance done to the existing wire. This right here needed to get insulated. We got some shrink tube on it. The coils all checked out okay. These two here had to be removed. not completely, but just slipped off their mounts and tucked back out of the way to get to the two. You can't see, I don't have very good lighting in here to get in the way, but there's two down in there that had to be replaced. We've got the wafer switch, the band switch, buffed a little, whatever we could get without having to remove it. Typically on a lot of these Philcos, I've had to remove the wafer switch in order to get it cleaned good enough, because they're notorious for getting corroded up and getting ick all over them. Is ick a word? Yeah, I think it is. So that the band switching works much better when they're removed and cleaned. But you see that sack of snakes there, boy, I tell you, that is a major challenge. I mean, it's a daunting experience even for the ones that have ice flowing in their veins. So we're putting this back into its final form. I got the chassis cleaned and refinished. The variable cap is cleaned up and lubricated. Looks a lot better than it did. All of this has been clear coated to keep it from getting snotty again. The transformer housing has been done in oil rubbed bronze and cleared. These here needed to have some tubing slipped over them because they were kind of crusty, stiff, and you could break the cloth covering on it very easily, and I needed to take and bend these around so I could get them tucked back in here to get them masked off for the chassis spraying. So I had to go back and slip tubes over these. These here connect up to the push button assembly on the rack. We're going to replace the power wiring to the power switch, and stay tuned. There's more to come as soon as I get the dial panel finalized. It's sitting out getting its framework dried, and so that we can put black felt on it to get it remounted onto here, and that'll be the next one up, so stay tuned. Alright, got the chassis assembly all back together. Got the dial background and the dial tower back up. The lamps are redone, both lamps, new bulbs in here. I still got to make the label for the back of that band indicator. Got to get the speaker wound up, but I've tested it. She checks out. Got a felt background, black felt on the background here. The needle has been redone, Let me get this thing turned around and we'll give a look at the other side. Alright, alright. We've got the thing all restrung. All the tubes cleaned and reset. I've yet to get the stickers and the serial number sticker on it done. Got these dialed in. What else? New wiring on the power switch. New wiring on each of the dial lamps. Yeah, we're pretty much set to go here. All I got to do now is rework that cabinet. That's going to be a major hassle, but I think well, I've got it started and it's going pretty smoothly so far, so good. So keep my fingers crossed that there are no surprises, and we'll just keep going. So the electronics are done. It has a new power cord. I've yet to still get a fuse in it and get it checked out. So stay tuned. Alrighty then. We got the chassis all ready. The felt on the back drop of the dial face. The buttons are polished and protected. The chassis is all painted and protected, ready to go. We have a new band selection indicator text, new lamps, everything's put back together, ready to go. Let me get this thing turned around so you can see the back of it. And here's the back. We got the decaling and the foil label for the serial number redone. A new patent sticker on the thing and fusing done. This here is an adapter for the auxiliary input port right here on the chassis. It's a 3.5 millimeter plug to a actually what all this is just a regular an old pre-40s tube pin for like a 6-pin tube that plugs into the back of that for the auxiliary input. This here is for your audio output, at least the hot channel of it, for in the cabinet alignment adjustments, and these two here are for your antenna. All these tubes are fresh to this radio. They're all used old stock. So we're going to get ready to reassemble this radio with its cabinet and its other components, and that'll be up next, so stay tuned. Alright, there is the cabinet for that 42350 chassis that we've seen in the previous segment. It is stained, finished, semi-gloss. Got the new decaling on the cabinet. It has the new sticker on the inside. The inside is all done. This one here, you'd be surprised at the way this came out, considering what it looked like in the beginning. I'll try to include some quick shots of that ahead of time. The only thing I got left to do with this is put the rubber feet on it and set the trim, and should be ready to go. So stay tuned for that operation video when she's all together. It'll be in the next few days.